You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here he goes in. Throwing it down! How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire!
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming with you. And on the line, we got DC. What's going on, DC?
5-game losing streak. Hopefully not 6.
This podcast 265 on the Pelican post-game report. 265 on the Pelican post-game report. And as always, man, we are everything New Orleans Pelicans, including losing as well as winning, and they're doing a lot of losing. And this episode will recap two of those losing fiasco games as we welcome new and established listeners in. That round of applause is for you guys. Thank you for joining us. And on the Pelican post-game report, we're going to report, sadly enough, on both of these really pathetic contests that went down. We're going to start with the Trailblazers debacle in which they lost 132 to 119. And then in the second half, we'll cover the Spurs, of course, their loss to the Spurs.
Can we just lump them together?
109 to 95, and then we'll preview the Thunder game, which is we'll think about that. You know, currently the Pelicans are playing the Thunder and they're losing. Imagine that. Anyway, without further ado, we'll break the games down with stats, facts, and breakdown. We'll hit you with Al Gentry as he'll chime in with his thoughts on the game. Of course, being that we're compounding the shows into one show, we'll only have be able to play Coach Gentry on both of those. Both his interviews to hear what he had to say about the show as well. And, of course, we'll move further into the show start. Now, of course, the Pelicans 132 to 119 loss to the Portland Trailblazers. Of course, the Trailblazers have been waiting for that one, man. The Trailblazers were waiting full advantage to say, you know what? We remember you guys. Y'all swept us last year. We got it on our mind to kick y'all butt. And they got a little revenge against the Pelicans in this one, 132 to 119. Now, never mind the fact that the Pelicans, man, I mean, DC, where do you start with this? I mean, when you look at the statistics overall in this game against the Trailblazers, the Pelicans, man, they shot 42, I might as well say 43%. They were 40 of 94 from the field, 8 of 29 from the three-point line. Let me repeat that again. 8 of 29 from downtown for 28%. Now, you know what Portland shot? Portland shot 18 of 35 from downtown for 51%. Big difference, right? Of course, the free throws were there for the Pelicans. 31 of 37 for 84%. Pretty good. Only problem is Portland 26 of 31 for 84% as well. Trailblazers out-rebounded the Pelicans 56 to 42. They out-assisted the Pelicans 26 to 23. Of course, they had more turnovers than the Pelicans, 14-13. Didn't make a difference. Pelicans won the steal battle 7-4. And the Trailblazers run the block war 4-3. Total fast break points. Remember, this is where the Pelicans supposed to reign supreme on teams in the fast break games. 6 points.
You funny.
6 points. 6 points on the fast break versus 16 points against the Trailblazers.
Trying to be number one in pace and 6 points on the fast break. That make a lot of sense.
Okay, points in the paint. Okay, the Pelicans had 62 points in the paint versus Trailblazers 38 points in the paint.
All right. Okay, we at least did something right.
Now, we noticed that, like I said, they like to try to run. But I kept telling, like I told my father this past weekend, I said, and my pops follow the Pelicans, he listened to the show as well. And I told him, I said, you know what, if I was your math teacher and I gave you a bunch of math work to do in the classroom and I put a clock in front of you and it was a speed clock and I told you hurry up and do this math by the time this clock in, how many of those answers would you possibly get wrong? You get quite a few of them wrong, right? Well, I like it.
I'm gonna get the ones right that I did because I'm gonna just take my time and make sure I do them right.
Well, you wouldn't be on Alvin Gentry's team if that's the case.
It's better to have 5 right answers than to do all of the problems and only get 2 right.
Well, that's just my point. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, how you going fast? And so that's what it basically come down. You're just gonna make mistakes faster if that's the case. And that's what's happening in large part. The fact that Alvin Gentry's still not realizing. Hold on, hold that commentary because I want to hear that, DC. First, before you go in there and we hit the team statistics. statistics. Let's get a little bit from Al Gentry and to let him tell you exactly what he thought about his team's performance against Trailblazers. Here's Gentry.
Yeah, a little bit, but not really. I mean, we've got to get them off the line. We got to get guys off the line. You know, I mean, the point differential is 30 points from the three-point line. I mean, we dominate the paint. We shoot more free throws. But it's really, really difficult to make up a 30-point deficit, you know, from three. And we got to get them off the line, and we've got to make a few more on our own.
How do you get them off the line, I guess, would be the follow-up to that?
Well, we just got to have, you know, you got to have multiple effort. That's all, you know. I mean, they're really good because they got, you know, guards that can dribble, penetrate, and finish, and they also got bigs that can step out on the floor and make three. And, you know, Dame is capable of pulling up and shooting a three from anywhere. But, you know, we've got to do a better job with that, not just against this team, about most of the teams. You know, we got to take away the dare shots, you know, where we're just leaving one guy open to shoot them, and we've got to have multiple effort, and we've got to run those guys off the line because our offense is good, but it's not good enough to sustain that. You know, we've got a 30-point deficit at the three-point line.
What went into the decision to rest Anthony or to hold him out?
Well, it wasn't quite right, and our medical guys, for precautionary reasons, which I totally agree with, is that they didn't think it was a good idea for him to play. So the 8th game into the year, we're not going to risk, one of the best players in the league, you know, so that we can play one game. It's not going to be the difference in our year, you know. The games that he's missed, we'll be okay, you know. Yeah, and you're right, Jimmy, but the problem we run into is that we have to sustain those over the 48 minutes. And what has happened is that we play well for a stretch, and then we have a couple of bad possessions or a couple of shots doesn't go in. That's where our defense is going to have to come in and be able to come up with stops so that we're not trying to outscore a team. We can't trade baskets. You know, last year, one of the things that we did down the stretch is that we were really good defensively, and we were running off missed shots. When you're running off missed shots, that's a lot different than running when you're taking the ball out of the basket.
That's Coach Al Gentry chiming in, giving his thoughts on the game as usual. He wants to play fast. He wants to play faster. Never mind the fact that you're turning over the ball faster. Never mind the fact that you're not using your bench correctly. Never mind the fact that your team is playing 5 games in several days, and you're the one grinding them into the ground, running them into the ground because you want to play faster, and you're not even playing 5 guys off the bench. You're running 3-guy rotations every night and actually tearing the team up.
We can't beat them up this game, Q. This game, Al Gentry actually went 10 deep, man. I mean, I can't.
Most of those guys got garbage points, man. You know that. That's garbage minutes in most of them.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of substitutions in the first half, so I can agree. But I would have liked to see Frank Jackson get more minutes than Tim Frazier off top. Tim Frazier didn't, I guess offensively didn't play horrible. I mean, he's 3 for 7. That's okay. 1 for 4 from three-point line. But Tim Frazier going fast, it just ain't going to work. Drew Holiday, I think, can play the point when Alfred Payton isn't here. Obviously, he's a lot better at playing off the ball. But he can definitely run the point. And I think if you're going to have him run the point and create plays for other people, you got to take a little bit off of him on the defensive end, man, and that's why a guy like Frank Jackson comes in. You're not going to get a lot out of Tim Frazier on the defensive end. A guy like Solomon Hill ain't really giving us nothing. Wesley Johnson should have definitely played this game. I think the 12 minutes, 10 minutes you gave to Solomon Hill, you could have gave to Wesley Johnson, man.
And it would be nice to add that Anthony Davis didn't play in this. Of course, AD was not in this game. He's still trying to rehab himself from that sprained elbow.
I think we were still lost with him out there.
Looking at it, the top scorers for the game was Julius Randle in this one, 26 minutes, 9 of 16 from the field, 11 from 12 from the free throw line, 0 for 2 from downtown, finished with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 29 points for Julius Randle in this game. Also, second scorer, E'Twaun Moore, 31 minutes, 7 of 12 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He finished with 19 points. Behind Nikolai Mirotic was the third guy. He played 36 minutes, shot 6 of 20, 1 of 6 from downtown, 5 of 6 from the free free throw line. He had 13 rebounds in this game. He continued to step his rebounding up. 18 points for Nico, and then Drew Holiday, 17 points for him and 10 assists. And this went through 35 minutes, 5 of 14 for Drew. In the matchup, 6 of 8 from downtown. And this one off the bench, Ian Clark, 23 minutes. He finished with 10 points, off 3 of 6 shooting from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. And of course, there was Sheik Diallo played. He had 5 minutes and 25 points in 20 minutes with 8 rebounds. Solomon Hill's numbers continued to dwindle into this game. Frank Jackson finished. He played the game 12 minutes, had 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting, kind of struggled a bit. And of course, Kenrick Williams got an opportunity to play. He had 5 points in 3 minutes, 2 of 2 shooting for Kenrick Williams. Wesley Johnson was DMP'd in this game, did not play as the Pelicans went down in flames, 132 to 119. Of course, let's move into our next one. It's not too much to talk about with the Portland Trailblazers and the Pelicans. The next matchup the Pelicans played was, of course, the matchup where they faced off against the San Antonio Spurs with the same effect. They lose the game 109 to 95. You know, they went into San Antonio saying, you know what, we're going to stop the bleeding. And guess what? I the one that called the last game. So you know what? The Pelicans going to stop the bleeding against the Portland Trailblazers. No such luck. They didn't stop the bleeding. They continue to bleed out. And then and whatever guts they had, that is halfway fell out because the Spurs continue to stomp on them. 109-95 in this one. And we looking at the team statistics for this game, and it tell you just like the rest of them tell you. The Pelicans shot 47% from the field in this one. Not too bad. 36 of 77. The Spurs had almost 20 more attempts shooting the ball. 20 more attempts. They had 96 attempts in this game and were 45 of 96. They finished with 47% from the field. They shot 8 of 23 from downtown for 35%. The Pelicans were 6 of 21 from 28, almost 27%. Pelicans shot 17 of 30 from the free throw line. Let me repeat that again. That's one of those stats that you just got to.
Yeah, you need to circle that with a red marker.
That one, just like you look at the box scores.
Repeat the free throw percentage too.
Let's look at that's one of those things that you look at the box score. If you know what you're looking at, those one of the things like that can't be right. That's got to be some type of error, some typo. But no, it's right. The Pelicans shot 17 of 30 from the free throw line for 57%. 17 of 30. That means if it's just hard to even say. They barely hit off half the free throws. It's just ridiculous. And then if they would have hit at least maybe 10 more of those shots, most of the points that they could have helped themselves were at the free throw line. You look at what San Antonio did from the line, they were only 11 of 14. So the referees said, you know what, we feel so bad for y'all. We're going to send y'all to the line 30 times in this game. And the Pelicans shoot themselves in the foot by converting 57% of the free throws. That's terrible. They did out-rebound them, but that made no difference. You hurt yourself because you couldn't convert at the line. They are free throws. You have to hit the free throws.
The free throws they was missing.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. The Pelicans did out-rebound them 60 to 48. They did not win the assist battle, as you keep hearing Gentry ad nauseum talk about push the pace. They were beat by the Spurs pushing the pace 29 to 22 on the assist. Spurs had more steals 8 to 3. Pelicans had more blocks 8 to 4. Turnovers, the Pelicans had more turnovers 16 to 6 and gave up 18 points off of 16 turnovers. They had 11 fast break points. All this stuff about pushing the pace, and they only producing 11 points on fast break points in the paint. 46 to 46, and the fouls were what it was. Now, DC, before we get into the individual statistics, let's listen to what Coach Al Gentry had to say about this debacle. Here's Gentry.
Yeah, we got to play better. It's that simple. It's no secret formula. We got to do a better job of protecting the ball. We got to walk to the line. We got to make free throws. We got to stay within what we're supposed to do from a game plan standpoint, and then we have to execute. They're not going to beat themselves. They've never been a team that's going to beat themselves. And so if you're going to turn the ball over in crucial situations, you're going to have a tough time beating them. Yeah, we made bad decisions. That's what made it. We're trying to hit grand slams when all we need to do is hit singles. We need to just move the basketball and let the game come to us and stop trying to force the issue. We've done that now the last few games. And so we have to get back to being who we are. And that's a team that moves the basketball, that makes elementary, simple plays, and then execute. That's the way you win games in this league. That's exactly what they just did. No fancy, great kind of plays and stuff. They kill you at execution. And that's why at the end of the first half they have one turnover, because they execute to get shots. And that's what we have to do. We don't need grand slams. We don't even need doubles. We need simple singles that get us to the next pass and the next cut. And we've got to get away from trying to make all of these home run plays. Because inevitably what it does is that it costs you against a team that has a high basketball IQ that's not going to hurt themselves. Tell them to make the simple play. That's the way you convey it. We don't need to make great plays. We're a good basketball team that when we moved the basketball, we had 70 assists in the first 2 games. And now, all of a sudden we've gone away from moving the ball and making simple plays. And that's what we got to get back to. And I don't care who's out or this guy didn't play or that guy didn't play. We have to be who we are. And who we are is a team that moved the basketball and find the open man. And it doesn't matter who that open guy is. And we have to get away from trying to make great plays. Great plays will get your ass beat against a team like this. Because it's not going to happen. For every one you make 2 or 3 turnovers. And it ends up costing you. So what you want to be is you want to be very conservative and move the basketball, and you will get good shots. And when you try to make great plays, it costs you. That's the bottom line. So we can sit here and talk all we want about, well, this and that, and then you have to walk to the line and make free throws. And especially in crucial situations where the game is still in the balance. And you finally get it under double figures. We can't walk to the line and miss free throws, and we can't turn the damn ball over. That's the bottom line.
That's Al Gentry talking, man, and the more he talk, the more I won't turn it off. But this is the thing that's interesting about it. They can say, well, Anthony Davis, a lot of the people that's following the Pelicans, but Anthony Davis wasn't there most of the games, DC. Anthony Davis wasn't there. That's why the Pelicans were losing these games. Anthony Davis played in a couple of these games, and it made no difference. He was quoted as saying in an article that he has to play nearly perfect for them to win. Now, that's not good if you got a guy that's coming into the final year of his contract, and it's already rumors circulating about that he wants to play with a contender. Nobody shy of a guy just coming out of college wants to make a name for himself, wants to be the guy that take every shot. Anthony Davis needs help. And even though he's playing these games, he played in this game against the Spurs. He played 40 minutes in this game. He was 5 of 13 from the field, 0 of 2 from downtown, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. He had 17 points and 8 rebounds and 5 blocks in this game. 5 blocks. He wasn't the top scorer. It was Drew Holiday. Drew finished with 29 points and 8 assists with 4 rebounds on 13 to 21 shooting from the field. 0 for 3 from downtown, but he did get 3 or 4 from the free throw line in 39 minutes of action. Niko Mirotic once again stepping up. Niko stepping up his rebound. I have to put that out there. 22 points for Nikola Mirotic. He has 16 rebounds in this game. That's right, 16, and all with defensive. 9 of 16 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the free throw line in 36 minutes of action. And the only other Pelicans to even put up double-digit numbers was Etuan Moore, who finished with 11 points in 34 minutes on 4 of 7 shooting from the field and 2 of 2 from downtown. And then there was Julius Randle, 26 minutes of play for 10 points. He had 6 rebounds, 3 of 9 shooting, 0 from 2 from downtown. This dude was 4 of 12 from the free throw line. 4 of 12. He was the main reason why they stunk so bad, and he stunk it up all by himself. Only player that didn't play in this was Coach Solly Hill. He didn't play. Darius Miller made a return, and they could have just returned him back to the bench where he belonged, because he played 14 minutes and didn't even have a point in the game, had 1 rebound in the game. So welcome back, Darius Miller. Anyway, before
our bench players didn't play, man. I mean, you got Sheik Diallo, you got Jaleel Okafor and Frank Jackson.
They played. They played. One played 2 minutes and one played 1 minute.
Sheik Diallo played for 2 minutes, and he didn't put him in until the game was pretty much already over, man. And if you watch this game, anybody who plays sports or you just know basketball, the Pelicans had no legs, man. They were tired. And they played more people in the Blazers game than they did in this game. The Pelicans looked completely worn out, dude. And Al Gentry just refused to go to his bench. I mean, how do you not play? We had no energy. And you got a guy like Sheik Diallo, who's our energy guy, and you don't play him. Like, how? Frank Jackson definitely needs to be in the game, dude. It was a defensive game for the most part. This game was going to be won with defensive effort.
Well, that might be the case indeed, and he doesn't know his team as well as he's supposed to. That's definitely the case. But we're going to talk about it more. We're going to go into our first break. When we come back on the other side of the break, we'll finish up talking about what's going on with our Pelicans. And right now, they're playing the OKC Thunder. We'll give you an update on that as well. And we'll talk about other Pelican-related matters, all that on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Coming off a break, and we just got through recapping those 2 games. The Portland game in which the Pelicans lost. We also recapped the San Antonio Spurs game. We're still finishing up on that one. And of course, right now as we speak, in the Thunder and the Pelicans are playing right now. And as the real-time score for the game as it stands is that the Pelicans currently are up on the Thunder 63-62 at halftime. So the Pelicans right now, they put up 35 points on the Thunder in the second quarter and lead by 1. Of course, the top scorers for the Pelicans as it stands, and we're taking a look at the box score, and it's saying that the Pelicans' top people, let's see here, is 2 of them tied for the lead. Anthony Davis has 11 points, 5 rebounds in 18 minutes, shooting 4 of 11 right now from the field. And, of course, Julius Randle is the other guy. He has 11 points in 11 minutes of action. And then 3 other scorers with 7 currently at halftime. Nikolai Mirotic has 7. Drew Holiday has 7. And, of course, Darius Miller has 9 points. And how did I skip over him? And Ian Clark has 7 minutes as well. So there you go. So Wesley Johnson also getting an opportunity to start. DC started in the San Antonio matchup. He right now is starting for them at the wing, 12 minutes so far in the game, 1 of 5 shooting, 1 of 4 from downtown. He had 5 points as it currently stands right now. Let's get into it.
That's better than what Solomon Hill gonna give you. It take him 2 games to get 5 points.
Yeah, slowly Nolan Solomon Hill, man, they just really reduced his minutes and kind of slide him out of the rotation. Looking at it, that's the thing that a lot of people are upset about, is the fact that Alvin Gentry is not utilizing his bench. He's going 8 guys deep, and then when he finally plays guys at the end of the game. And I consider that, remember my critique on it is that the fact that I always say that he goes into his old man mind where he gets stuck in a rut, can't adjust. Playing Wesley Johnson, which he threw Wesley Johnson in the matchup against the San Antonio Spurs. Wesley Johnson played 21 minutes in that game, only scored 3 points, but that's not his deal. Wesley Johnson's more of a defensive presence. He had 5 rebounds and just 3 minutes in the contest. Now, of course, man, you talked about it.
Hey, Q, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I know you about to shift gears, but I just gotta say this, because this is very strange to me. Why is Ian Clark in the game and taking the same amount of shots as Anthony Davis tonight? Live. I don't get that.
It seems to me, man.
Why is Ian Clark taking 11 shots?
They're trying to get Ian Clark, what he gave him last year, coming into that second portion of the year when it started getting hot, and he carried on right into the playoffs. They're hoping to spark Ian Clark off the bench to give them that extra scoring advantage. Now, me and you talked about this before, because this goes right into the question we talked about of moving E'Twaun Moore out of the starting rotation and into the bench to give the bench more power, to give the bench more scoring.
He got 2 shots and he hit both of them.
Right. So
Ian Clark only started 11 and he hit 3.
But ideally, you're gonna see a mesh of different. You're gonna see different things being done by Alvin Gentry. He's attempt to try to find the right rotation, the right things. And like we saying, if you want to help the Pelicans, if you want to run fast, and you talk about running all the time, you can't.
You gotta play Frank Jackson, man.
You can't play just 8 guys a night. You're gonna have to dig into the bench and play at least 10 guys a night. That way, you're giving these guys an opportunity to rest up. Right. But that's tonight. You know, and that's because what you realize, and you done put yourself in a hole. You know, now you done lost every road game that you possibly have. Every road game that the Pelicans played, they were up 4-0 before they went on the road. Now they about to come on the road. Now
he's actually playing decent tonight, though. You know, I can't be mad at whatever he's doing.
No, we're not talking about tonight.
He ain't close taking some shots.
We're not talking about tonight. We still in the San Antonio game leading up to that. But that's what I'm saying. The mistakes is obvious that you have to utilize your bench to the best of your ability. That's what cost you the loss against Utah, is the fact that he wouldn't put Jahlil Okafor, a 7-footer, on a 7-footer to stop him from getting layups at the rim. Same thing with Denver. So when it comes down to it, you got to start having faith in your lineup, or your ass is going to be out of here. Now, like I was thinking about, I was like, Alvin Gentry, they gave him a 2-year extension. After he's failed, he stunk up 2 years. He had 1 winning year, and then you reward him for 1 year winning year versus 2 shitty years. And I'm like, that's the wrong message to send. You know, because you finally got it, but let's hold out on that and see if he can sustain that winning. You know, before we extend out of his contract.
To replace Alvin Gentry, Mark Jackson, man. Wouldn't it have been amazing if we were able to get Mark Jackson?
That would have been awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely, I love it.
Gonna put pace out there, but he's also gonna force the team to play some type of defense. And he's a point guard extraordinaire. Every point guard he done touched, time to go. So I would love to see that, man.
Frank Jackson, Elfrid Payton, even Drew Holiday would have benefited greatly by having expertise of Mark Jackson, and there's no doubt about it. Now let's move on. Let's talk about this OKC game. DC, is kind of odd. We talk about breaking it down. It's actually at halftime. We just gave you some statistics on the halftime battle. Usually we'll do a show where we'll preview the game, but the game is ongoing right now. Taking a look at what you see from the Pelicans, let's make an in-game prediction. How do you think the Pelicans finally pull enough together to be able to beat a OKC Thunder Thunder team in OKC. They're up 63-62 at halftime, and Anthony Davis is leading the charge. Do they gonna have enough to pull off and stop the bleeding and at least come back 6-6?
I think they can do it.
I mean, excuse me,
like I said,
5-5.
If he continues to play the bench the way he's playing tonight, I think they can pull it off. He's definitely going to need to get Frank Jackson out there, get him some minutes. I'm going to keep pounding at home because he's probably our best defender on the bench, man. That's our best perimeter defender coming off the bench, just like Chi Diallo is probably our best defender on the front court coming off the bench. I consider this Randle a starter. So, if they continue to play the bench, man, and get Anthony Davis and these guys some rest, because I really don't look like they're playing all that hot tonight. But I think they can pull it out purely because they want it, man. I know these guys have big aspirations for this season, and Anthony Davis, I'm sure. So I think they pull this one out on pure will, bro, and they go out there and beat a struggling Oklahoma team. They're in the same boat we in. We might have a few more wins than them, I'm not sure. But they're struggling too. So this is the battle of the bottom feeders right now, and I think we come out with this one.
Actually, OKC on a 4-game winning streak, so they are actually.
What's their total record though?
They're 4-4. They won 4 in a row.
Right. They coming off a 4-game losing streak probably, and they just won 4. So I mean, we're still in the same boat. You get my point.
So that's
on the opposite end of the pendulum right now.
Well, Pelicans on a 5-game slide, OKC on a 4-game winning streak. Some got to give. Do the Pelicans get it done? In my opinion, you know what? It'll be hell to pay if you go on the road and lose all the road games and come back. You left 4-0 and come back 4-6. So I think
a lot of pressure on yourself for that home game too.
Exactly. So I think and I've said it against the Portland game. I thought they'll come out and stop the bleeding. I most certainly didn't think they would win the San Antonio game. But this game against OKC, I know OKC's on a 4-game winning streak and the Pelicans are sliding, but I think the Pelicans have to be desperate to get this game from OKC. Not go back 4-6 and lose 6 of your 6-game road trip. You come back and lose all of them. That's absolutely horrible, man. And I just for I just have to say that I can't fathom them losing this game and coming back home 4-6, losing 6 in a row on the road. I just can't fathom that. So because of that, I'll have to pick the Pelicans and say that they finally get 5-5 and at least come back home with some dignity, you know. But anyway, that'll do it for the show. Thank you guys for chiming in and listening to the Pelican Post Game Report, both new and established listeners. As always, thank you guys. And if you want to support the show, you can do so by going to our Patreon page, www.patreon.com. You can support the show financially by sending a few bucks our way. You know, of course, we'll use it to empower the platform. You can also join up at social media. The link's in the description. You can also help the show by buying products from our sponsors. Those links are in the description section below. And from me and DC and the Pelican Post Game Report staff, thank you for joining us tonight. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
What's up, sports world? It's Big Q talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Post Game Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace. Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below. Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
Vapor DNA is the absolute premier online vape store, offering an industry-leading selection of e-cigarettes, e-liquids, and accessories. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service team is always ready to provide the best customer service experience to ensure you find what you're looking for. We guarantee our vaping gear shop products to be 100% genuine and the lowest price. We are so confident in our selection and our customer service. We will offer our customers a 45-day refund policy. That's right, a 45-day refund policy. We are proud of this offer for 3 simple reasons: quality, selection, and price. And that is the reason you should choose Vapor DNA for all your vaping needs. That's www.vapordna.com. Again, that's www.vapordna.com.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.